In 1459, the northern Italian city of Mantua exploded onto the world scene. Its ruler, Ludovico Gonzaga, was able to convince all of Europe's great leaders to come to his city for the Council of Mantua to decide what to do about the fall of Constantinople. And to prepare his city, Ludovico Gonzaga hired an artist named Andrea Mantegna to become his court artist. And the result is what you see around me, the spectacular Camera degli Sposi. The term Camera degli Sposi translates as the room of the newlyweds, and no one's really sure why we call it that. It was originally called the Camera Picta, or the painted room. And what Mantegna does in his fresco cycle is to show us the Gonzaga family at home and at court. It is one of the most detailed representations of Italian court life. And we have the Marquis Ludovico Gonzaga sitting on his chair in informal dress. Behind him, the man whispering into his ear is his consigliere, Marsilio Andreazzi, who's delivered a note. So this is the Gonzaga doing business. The stately woman that you see in yellow is his wife, Barbara of Brandesburg, and between them, all of their children. Underneath Ludovico, we can even see his dog, whose name is mentioned in documentation as Rubino, his faithful companion. And then down at the far end, the various courtiers, who are in fact waiting their turn for an audience with the great ruler of Mantua. And if the north wall shows us Ludovico at court, the west wall instead shows him out in the countryside. And in fact, the scene shows us the Marquis Ludovico Gonzaga greeting his son Francesco, who had been made a cardinal 10 days before and was returning home. But the scene is filled also with courtly imagery, like the Lagotto Romagnolo dog that you see behind Ludovico, or his other hunting dogs as well. You can see the massive horse on the far left-hand side, because the Gonzaga were famous for their stables and for their prize-winning horses. And one of the most celebrated details is this group of angels with these beautiful butterfly wings. But perhaps the most celebrated part of the Camera degli Sposi is the illusionistic oculus that you see here above me. And you can clearly see that Mantegna was trying to communicate this sense of playfulness. We have these winged, underpantless putti standing above us, and of course, making everyone down below hoping they don't have an accident. We have these giggling ladies in waiting looking down. We have that big potted plant precariously placed upon that roller, which any minute could actually fall. And so the notion essentially of communicating to the visitor that the host here, Ludovico Gonzaga, was a man who also liked to have fun. There's a bit of controversy surrounding the dates of the fresco, because there's an inscription on the wall that reads 1465, and then up above the door, the plaque reads 1474. And 9 years was simply too long to paint just 2 walls. We also think that the plan was eventually to paint the other walls. Behind these fictive tapestries, you can actually see some blue sky. But one thing we do know is that the Camera degli Sposi represents one of the most accurate and detailed representations of court life during the Italian Renaissance. And remember to like this video and to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rocky's Italy, so that you don't miss out on any of this great content that we're filming here in Italy and publishing weekly.